Hello and welcome to the Chat Cave podcast, where we, talk news. It's not making me laugh, you bastard. Where we talk basically recent news articles, discuss media, review stuff here and there, and just have a bit of fun along the way. I'm your host, Frank King Thomas Hughes. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Zenny F, aka Connor O'Shea.
Okay, always fucking ill.
Yep, always fucking out. Because today, we're talking about this stuff that's popped up in the last few days, and just what Connor's been up to recently. Because he's been playing a certain game that stopped us from live streaming the other day.
Hell yeah! I mean, non-stop playing Diablo. Well, I say non-stop. I did sleep for like 14 hours the other day because I felt so ill. But I've been trying my best. But I finished the story. It took like 2 days of gameplay. Obviously not in game time, but it took quite a while. But really, the story is the best story they've put in by far. But yeah, it's really fucking hard. It's a lot harder and longer than Diablo 3 was. Jesus, man, it takes ages to level up. I've just hit level 54, and I've been playing for like 40 hours or something, and they're still like to level 100. And I'm pretty sure. Did I tell you about the event they was doing? After, if so many people reach level 100 in hardcore, I think it's like the first 100 or 1,000. There's like a statue that's going to like all the Blizzard events. It's going to be etched with like your name. So like, I think there's 4 people so far who've done it, let alone the game's been out for like a few fucking days, like 7 days now. And there's only 4 or 5 people who've actually managed to fucking get it. Because it's really fucking hard. It takes ages. I think the fastest one's done it was like a 4-man group, and I think it was like 90 some hours to reach level 100.
Fucking
And solo's like 110, and that's someone who's like played the game a fucking lot. So you gotta think like an average player is gonna take fucking like 170 easy to get to top level.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be insane. Also on the topic of Diablo, I'll get it out of the way. It's also become Blizzard's fastest selling game of all time, which Diablo 3 was one of their biggest selling games of all time. So it's got to be pretty much in like the top 10 of top selling games of all time now, because Diablo 3 was like really fucking high up.
You're googling the stats see if you're correct.
I don't think they've released the numbers for Diablo 4 yet, but Diablo 3 sold. Oh god, where is it?
You found it yet?
Diablo 2 was 4 million, that's in the top. But this is a PC game, so obviously it's not counted. Oh, 20 million total copies sold. It's top 4 on PC. It's like right next to like Terraria's. Actually, it's on par with Gary's Mod. Gary's Mod sold 20 million. Diablo 3 sold 20 million. So imagine this one's going to outdo it. It's the fastest selling game at the minute. So I mean, obviously it might not mean 20 million straight away, but it's definitely fucking the fastest. That's pretty insane. Anyway, enough Diablo talk. Go on to your stuff.
Enough Diablo talk. You made me talk about 2 minutes.
I know, but I've been playing it so much, so that's all I can think about lately is Diablo. So I'm waiting for someone to break it up. I haven't got no one to talk to, so it's just Diablo.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, what can I think of then? Let's have a look, shall we? Well, the first reviews for The Flash have come in.
Mm-hmm.
The first, obviously, the review embargo dropped Wednesday, I think. Today, I think it was like this morning it dropped.
Yeah.
So obviously the reviews are able to be released. And if you go on Rotten Tomatoes score, it's not like, no, obviously it was like really hyped. And obviously what I was saying to you is like, is it getting too hyped? Is that going to be its problem? I mean, it's come out, to my brightness down so you can actually see my fucking phone screen. It's come out to 72% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So like average.
So what how I usually refer to my ratings, the 7 I refer to 7, which is say 77. I always refer to like entertaining, like it's good. It's just not great or amazing. It's definitely further above average. It's between above average and like amazing. So it's like it's decent, it's watchable, it's fun, but it's not something that is like gonna like be like, whoa, I need to watch that again straight away, that sort of thing. So that's what I refer to it as. I mean, no, the little button I showed you last time there, when you click it, it tells you the top critics.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you hit the top critics button, it drops to 50%. Like it
Yeah.
drops It basically does a Little Mermaid and drops so heavily. That's actually gone down. That was actually last time I checked. It was actually 73%. I think it was. I think that's actually dropped. Let me just double check. Well, I double checked it. Yeah, it did. It dropped because it was 73%. Because I double checked the other multiverse style movie that's come out in the last year, which is Doctor Strange, which currently holds a 74 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's how I was checking, like, to see everyone's like opinions on the multiverse sort of ones. And obviously, I was like, okay, so it's technically less than Doctor Strange. Yeah, okay, Doctor Strange has got more reviews. To be fair, Doctor Strange won't get any probably more reviews. He's got 450 reviews. The Flash got 80 something. So it could give away with this. It could give back up, or it could go down even further.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if you click the top reviews on the Doctor Strange film, it only goes down as far as 59. So it's slightly just below the above average mark. Whereas this is literally like, it's meh if you click the top critics think. But yeah, I remember saying to you not long ago, I was like, is it getting too hyped? Is it going to be overhyped to the point that you're watching and be like, I'm pretty certain I said it when we was on a bit, because I referenced Avatar, didn't I? Process saying, like, thankfully it wasn't getting too hyped up that when it came out, it was like, actually, this is a pretty decent film. It just wasn't getting too hyped to the point of, oh, it's going to be amazing. You watch it and go, it's not as amazing as people said it was. This has kind of got to that point where like, every fucking one's fucking nan or someone's seen this already, and there's like, she's like the greatest superhero movie of all time, and going by this scoring, I disagree heavily. I could be wrong. It could come out to audiences and be a fucking hit. You know what I mean? It could come out like at 90% for audiences, but if you go off that, if you're calling that the greatest superhero movie of all time, I don't know what you're calling it Across the Spider-Verse, because Across the Spider-Verse critically holds 96%.
Yeah.
And a
I've heard really
96%
good things.
audience. And even if you click, literally, Critic, I can't really see because my phone's too bright. Even if I turn it down. All critics and verified audience for that film have 96%. You click the buttons to go top critics and old audience, it literally only drops by 1 for both. So, but they're in line with everything. Critics and audience, for a change, are mentally in sync on that film. But yeah, obviously, I was reading obviously the fact that those were going to drop the reviews for Flash. I was like, okay, let's see what they're like. And I think I was on break at work and it popped up. I was like, oh, let's have a look. And I clicked it. And it was like, yeah, that's a bit lower than I thought it was going to be. Like, even if it was overhyped, I was still expecting like in the 80 region. I was still expecting it to come out to an 80, like maybe like an 83 or 84, which I'd still say is okay. That's probably where I was expecting it. I know everyone's hyping it, but that's where I was expecting. This is actually lower than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But obviously, we'll see how the audience reacts when it comes out next Wednesday. It drops next Wednesday, so the audience score probably drop. Then again, this goes off American audience. The Rotten Tomatoes does in terms of when it releases the scoring, and I don't think it releases. Is it till Friday in America? I'm gonna just double check my fact there, because I know we get it early over here. We get it on the Wednesday, June 16th. So, maybe that's not my calendar. Stop clicking contacts on a calendar. Calendar is where the fuck is? Oh, it's all about there. Yeah. So it drops next Friday in America. But for us, it drops on Wednesday. We get it like fucking a few days earlier, which makes a change. Usually, it's always in the past been America get it before us, but
Yeah.
I do a lot. I've noticed a lot with superhero films lately. They've been giving it us first, making up for the fact they gave Ant-Man and Wasp America a good fucking 2 months before we got it.
That
Literally,
was weird. 2 months.
Literally, I think it was either 2 months or a month. I remember Ant-Man and Wasp coming out and being like, okay, and we literally didn't get it till August. I can actually double check that stat, that fucking fact right now if I go on IMDb. Man, that's like the longest, like, especially for like a big film like a Marvel. That's probably the longest I've known like a gap between releasing, obviously, in the UK and US. So in the US, Ant-Man and Wasp came out. Fucking got it. July the 6th, 2018. It got released fucking most places. The earliest July the 4th. And we didn't get it till August the 2nd, so we had to wait an entire month before we even got that movie. And that's a big, that's a Marvel movie. Like I don't mind a few days earlier, like say if they got it a couple of days before us, but a month was ridiculous. Like the dodging of spoilers for a month was bollocks. So obviously that was, I remember back then that was like the one I wanted to watch because I remember Ant-Man being really good and I was like, I need to see this one. And I remember for an entire month it's like just try and stay off the internet because spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. But yeah, I just thought Flash would get at least like an 80 summit off the bat, but that's lower than I fucking thought it was gonna go.
Do you think audience score is going to be?
Oh, I don't know. Again, my gut feeling is saying the 80s. I'd say something between 85 and 90, I reckon. Because, I mean, if we take into consideration a one that was slammed recently from DC, which would have been Shazam, it holds an 86% for audience. And even if you get rid of the verified audience, it only drops to as low as 78, which is still higher than the Flash's Critic score. So I'd say like if not high 70s, like mid 80s.
I think it'll go slightly above Shazam too.
Do you reckon like we're pushing like 90? Push it.
I think audience score will be slightly above, yeah.
So
I don't see it being lower. I know people. I mean, with the audience score that Shazam got, and the amount of people that I saw slamming the film, you know, what I mean, people thought, "Oh, it's a pointless film," but it still did pretty well. So
it's a pointless film that flopped to the box office, but did okay audience review wise. I mean,
the only problem with fucking obviously the Flash is the lead actor. A lot of people don't like him, so
a lot of people don't like him, do they?
it's very.
But is that
People
gonna hinder it heavily? That's the thing.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people was calling for it to be cancelled at one point because of it. Also, but if depends. People. I mean, some people probably wouldn't go to watch it all because of him. It. I don't know. It was classed as now. Then.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, doesn't he? Isn't he? Doesn't he class himself as a he? I swear it was.
No, I swear every article I read they refer to it.
Let's say because I don't know that.
I think review wise for audience, I think the lowest it might go is like high 70s, but I think the highest it'll probably push is low 90s. So I reckon anywhere between 78 and I'd say 93. That's what I reckon, anywhere between that. I feel like for us as an audience, that would be a win. Anywhere between that, because it means you're going to get a good film. I feel like for DC, it's going to be for fuck's sake. We hyped it up so much. It would be funny though if it is less than Shazam's score after Shazam flopped so badly. I mean, the artwork on the steelbook's pretty nice for Shazam.
The dragon.
Pretty nice steelbook. You also got Helen Mirren on the back. Nice wanky material, that is.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, it would be funny if it like was lower than that. But I reckon I do reckon anywhere between 78 and 93. I could be wrong. It could come out to fucking like high 90s, and I'd be like, okay. But we'll see. We'll see, won't we? I mean, they dropped the review scores for Transformers, a new one.
Yeah.
That comes out for us Thursday, which we're going to watch for like the fucking 1:15 showing or something stupid like that. I know it comes out for then, and at the moment it's probably about the average for a Transformers film the critics rating is. So if I get the actual Transformers franchise up on Rotten Tomatoes, for example, so critically the highest it's gone is 91%, and that was with Bumblebee, which is a movie that was a standalone film far away from the rest, which was bound to get high reviews. The lowest it's gone is 16%. That was the last proper Transformers one, the last night, which I agree was quite shit. I wouldn't say that bad. I'd probably be in line more with the audience score, which is 43%, but it was shit. But yeah, this one at the moment currently holds a 56% rating. So
yeah, that's bad.
Above mediocre, but below average.
What did Dark Side of the Moon get?
Dark Side of the Moon? 35.
Yeah. Oh my god. Transformers not on a good run.
Do you want me to tell you the entire rating system for Transformers from start to finish?
Yeah.
So the original
Go on then.
Transformers came out to 57% or critical score, with a top. If I click the top critic button, surprisingly, top critics rated it more than all critics put together. Top critics was a 65%, so it's actually a positive reviewed one. But when you mount up obviously all the critics in one, it drops to 57. But audience gave it an 85%, which is pretty good.
I
Transformers,
like the first one.
the first one's good, yeah. Revenge of the Fallen came out to a 20% critical rating, and top critics a 16%. I don't think it's that bad. I actually like the second one. Audience score 57%. So audience gave it a bad score. Dark Side of the Moon came out to 35% all critics, 27% top critics, and a 55% audience score. Age of Extinction came out to an 18% all critics, 11% top critics, and
Age of Extinction on with Mark Wahlberg.
the first one with Wahlberg, yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't like that either. So
And a
don't blame me.
50% audience score. I thought it was average to slightly above average. I didn't mind Age of Extinction. It was the point of it was going downhill, but it was at the point of it's passable. Then The Last Night came out to a 16% all critics and a 12% top critics with a 43% audience score. I didn't like that one. That was the one I really didn't like the most. Bumblebee then came out to 91% all critics, 83% top critics, 74% audience. So this one at the moment, obviously there's no audience score, it's come out to obviously 55, 56, is as high as the franchise goes with the title Transformers. Because it's just below the original Transformers.
Yeah.
So for I feel like for Hasbro, obviously, yes, I think they'd be going Hasbro / Paramount. I think they'd be going. Okay, I wish it came out to the Bumblebee scoring, but it's come out to basically where the first Transformers was, and everyone did love the first Transformers. So it's kind of the case of it's better than we could have gone. It could have gone fucking
Could
way
be
worse.
worse.
It could be the last two fucking mainstream Transformers, or any of them past the first one, which the highest it went for critics was 35%. Anything past the first one, apart from Bumblebee, if I don't count that. So I feel like it might come out to a better audience score. I think that one might come out to a decent audience score. I don't think it'd be a high audience score, but I've found lately a lot of times like these big Hollywood blockbusters that have come out with negative scores. They usually get a much better running with the audience, like the general population. So I reckon this one might, just like the original Transformers, it might come out to a better word of mouth from the audience of it's actually not as bad as people said it was. Whereas it's very surprising that everyone hates every single Transformers apart from the original and Bumblebee. But yeah.
The original one is the best one by far, though.
Yeah, original one. It's the best one with a Transformers name to it. But I do really like Bumblebee. I thought Bumblebee was a really good standalone film.
Didn't watch Bumblebee. I think the last one I watched was Dark Side of the Moon, and I was like, this is mediocre. And then obviously I saw that beginning part of the one with Mark Wahlberg, and I was like, this is fucking dreadful. And I just couldn't watch it. I just turned it off. I was like, nope.
That one's hit and miss. It's the next one after that. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like the camera work, the story, everything about it just is shite.
Problem is, they could have such a cool premise, but you always set it on Earth with humans. They could do like Transformers, actual fucking like animated film where you watch most that took place in fucking space.
Well,
that's like way better.
The opening for Bumblebee takes place in Cybertron.
No, that's where I don't know why they don't just
it starts in
heavily focus
Cybertron and then
around.
obviously heads to Earth following Bumblebee. But the whole start of it is literally the Battle of Cybertron with the old classic looking Transformers fighting. I mean, technically, Dark Side of the Moon starts off in space. Technically,
yeah, but then he goes like to Earth again. It's all fucking because poo poo.
And technically, like The Last Night, there's bits of that are in like a spaceship flying around. But again, as you say, that one also goes straight to Earth, and just the dodgy ass camera angles and fucking Michael Bay's weird direction of that film just ran it into the ground.
See the visuals. I even going back to the first one, I still say the visuals are good. It's just like sometimes you couldn't fucking tell what was going on in the fight because it's just metal. But I
Yeah,
still think visuals are good.
I think all of them have got really good special effects. It's just usually the story is what fucks them up.
The writing.
And so, because this one, I know Mark Bayer's been involved since the last night. This one is written by Transformers. It's written by a couple of people actually. Screenplays. Have a look who did the screenplays. The screenplay is done by someone. As a writer. He wrote the screenplay for Army of the Dead, that Las Vegas zombie heist film. He did the screenplay for King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and he wrote 3 episodes of that Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So not the biggest and best of rap sheets behind the writer credits. I mean, it's some big projects. It's just not like
Amazing projects.
projects that like blew everyone away. I think the only one on there that actually did any sort of decent really was the Army of the Dead, but obviously that's just numbers in terms of streaming numbers. Like, everything else, Obi-Wan was panned, King Arthur was panned. But I know this one's directed by. What's the direction? This one is directed by someone who did an episode of the animated Transformers series, and also the last, not the new Creed movie, but the last Creed film that starred Stallone. He directed that one. And he also directed like one of your favorite person's music videos, Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah, my favourite. On the topic of Machine Gun Kelly, because obviously he's with Megan Fox. Did you see a Diablo advert she did? She was like, oh, I love blood, and there's loads of blood in Diablo. It's just so stupid. It's just random actors. They keep getting random like celebrities to do stuff. Like I know they got like a whole song from like a member of BTS, and is it Halsey or how I don't know you say her name.
Yeah.
She's fucking. She's doing like a song for it's like the anthem of the game or something.
I know. One of the live action ones was directed by the director of Eternals, the Marvels movie.
Yeah, I did see that as well.
She directed one of the live action trailers, and everyone was like, "What?"
Also, on the topic of films in general, how good is the Goonies, man?
I saw you. I saw.
I was cracking up, man. It's a bit when obviously they chain him up with the sloth chunk, and he picks him up and he kisses him, and he's going, he's so funny, man. It's like
you're making me want to watch it now again.
You're gonna watch it again. It's obviously watching it now. Obviously, from when I was a kid, you see little bits that like I never saw before, like you know, the bit when like obviously all the house and the fucking penis on the statue breaks off. And he's outside by himself because obviously the house got to get knocked down. It looks really sad. There's like leaves falling, and you can clearly tell it's just someone chucking leaves down, man. Like next time you watch it, just watch the leaves in one place and like whoosh in one area. And then obviously the bit towards the end when like the fucking cave's falling in. I always thought that was like they're dropping rocks in the wall, but sometimes see just like little CG rocks. Like, phew, I was like, for fuck's sake, I didn't notice that when I was younger. It's kind of ruined that bit now, but it's so good. And obviously when Data's talking to the news and he's like, oh, the octopus is the scariest part. It's like, huh? But obviously if you watch the fucking uncut version, there's a massive fucking octopus in the water. I was like, but I was like thinking, man, no wonder everyone was confused. Man, everyone just dismisses it straight away, says it, and then they're talking about other stuff. It's like, the scariest part was walking the plane, because that was like the easiest part that happened. They all had guns and they pushed off the fucking plank into water. Come on. Such a good film, man.
I need to rewatch it.
I can't stop thinking about the bit when he kisses him and he's feeding him the baby boo. He's putting his mouth. Oh, that's one more bit as well. Right at the end, do you know, obviously, all the bad guys are walking up the cliff and the copper, he picks up the copper and he's like, woo, whatever. And then Chung finds him, he like hugs him, he's like, you live with me now. It's like, hang on, what about your mum and dad? Like, you're not going to ask him, he just says, like, you live with me. And the stuff's like, yeah.
He's a fucking like a lawyer or fucking like a showbiz fucking like
Oh, Chunk, yeah, he's like a Hollywood lawyer now, isn't he? He's like just like show business. He's lost loads of weight as well.
He's the one who plays Data's lawyer, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
Because I know he said when because obviously he as part of that Oscar winning Everything Ever All at Once, film
So
recently.
he's probably the one to do like the
It,
most, other than the guy who's fucking plays Thanos and stuff. For his name.
it was actually talking about the fact that he's like he's like his best friend was also his lawyer, and that they all like still talk to each other and stuff like that. So he's starting to do stuff now more because obviously he's making a comeback now. Obviously the one who played the two brothers, obviously Josh Brolin, it's Josh Brolin, he's in fucking loads, and obviously Sean Astin, he's in quite a bit as well because he's in Lord of the Rings.
Obviously, the only one that obviously went away was the one who plays Mouth, because obviously everything happened. He's kind of got music and that, hasn't he? Whatever. So
Corey Feldman.
yeah, obviously the last thing I'm pretty sure he put out was the documentary about Hollywood and stuff, wasn't it?
Possibly.
So, I don't think he's done anything after that. I think that was probably the only thing that he's done. But obviously, after everything happened to him, I'm not surprised. So, allegedly, I don't know if anything actually came out of it, but
I have no clue. Only thing I've really known from is obviously that film, Lost Boys, and Friday the 13th. I was gonna say to you. Obviously going back to Spider-Verse. The Spider-Man franchise has become only the third franchise to make over 10 billion at the box office.
Jesus.
Can you have a guess what the other two franchises are?
Avengers? No.
More bigger, because that's technically its own franchise. Like they count as the Avengers 4 movies as its own franchise. Think of bigger. What's that a part of?
Well, Marvel in general.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, that is obviously the highest grossing franchise out there. But what's the second one?
Avatar. I don't think. Biggest franchise.
How's Avatar made 10 billion out of 2 movies? You're crazy if it fucking did. Fuck me.
It won't be DC. I don't think DC
No.
have that big.
It's not a superhero franchise. Think of something that's old, that's been around for fucking years, like older than us. And it keeps getting revived every so often with more stories added to the universe.
And it's only films.
No, films, TV, they've got TV shows as well.
Not Star Trek.
You're close.
Star Wars.
Bingo. Star Wars. Yep, it literally joins those two franchises as obviously it's the third now highest grossing franchise of all time after obviously this doesn't just include films that are titled Spider-Man. I might add if I get it back up. Reception. I saw it fucking somewhere. Where did I see it? I literally looked at it the other day. 10 highest grossing. Here we go. Third film franchise. It's reached 10 billion. So obviously Marvel, it's MCU, of course, it's gonna make 10 billion. It's made fucking total worldwide gross almost 30 million. And they've still got another film to come out this year. So that's gonna fucking probably go over 30 billion this year. Obviously, you say Star Wars is the other saga that has made over 10 million. That has made $10,324,504 dollars and 714. Basically, it's made just over 10 billion. It's not like a massive over 10 billion, but it's just over 10 billion. But most of that has literally come from the new trilogy. Obviously the sequel trilogy, which has made like almost 9 billion on its own.
Yeah.
The prequel trilogy made just over made 2.5 billion. The original trilogy made just under 2 billion, and their anthology movies have made just under 1.5 billion. So anthology, I mean Rogue One, Solo, and Clone Wars. Obviously, Clone Wars and Solo being the lowest grossing of all the fucking Star Wars movies. And Rogue One, apart from obviously the sequel trilogy and the Phantom Menace, is the only other movie that's made over 1 billion. But yeah, obviously Spider-Man has made just about 55 million over the 10 billion mark. The MCU part of it has made just under 4 billion. The Sam Raimi series made 2.5 billion. The Amazing Spider-Man series made just under 1.5 billion. And then Spider-Verse has made 612 million. That's obviously for this from 2 films.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Sony Spider-Man universe, which includes Venom, Venom Let There Be Carnage, and Morbius has made just over 1.5 billion. So that's what I mean by it's
Did
not
you
just
see,
Spider-Man, it's like the spin-offs as well. So the only other
ever
thing,
seen how much Sony paid for the rights of Spider-Man back in the day?
how much?
7 million. They paid 7 million. I bet that paid off very
Well,
fucking well.
exactly. So
Holy shit.
the only franchise that on here that's anywhere near a 10 billion mark is fucking the Wisdom World,
Mm.
which is literally like 400 million off, something like that. They're literally the next sort of ones that anywhere at high is James Bond, but even that's only like less than 8 billion. So that's still fucking quite a bit off. But yeah, Avengers is
That's
literally its own
falling off.
Avengers is literally its own franchise that is the sixth highest grossing franchise. So it's my camera's literally
Your
frozen.
camera's froze.
Yeah, in like the worst like position. Hold on, let's see if I can try to fix this. Hold on, give me a sec. Ding, ding. There we go.
Yay!
I don't know why it did that. It just decided to freeze itself. I was there like reading. I was there getting really into reading my phone, like reading like stats, and I look up. I was like, why am I just like?
It's funny because you looked up as it froze.
That's what I mean. I glanced up and I was like, but yeah, obviously that's literally from 4 films alone. It's at almost 8 billion. That's just from 4 movies.
Insane.
It's fucking insane. Like that's ridiculous. That is. It's fucking.
I'll be happy with 100,000.
I know. Tell me about it. But yeah, I saw that stat the other day, and I was like, that's pretty good. Because as I say, fucking at the box office, it's literally just cracked the top 10 this year. Spider-Verse. Obviously, it's still got some time to rake in a bit more cash. Because it's made $221.8 million at the box office, which if it keeps up this rate and doubles that, it'd basically get more than what the first one did. The first one only made like 300 and something. Oh no, it's gone up on it. 236,828. 236 million according to the actual top 10 stat, which is pretty damn good. To be fair, I mean, it's not surprising. As I say, when I went to watch it last Friday, it was like pretty much sold out. Like it was rammed.
So you said that its cinema's full.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's probably the showing beforehand had a few people in as well. So it's not surprising that it's gonna get that much money.
I'd say, yeah.
That and the first
Well,
one was so fucking
I
good.
said to you the first one was my favourite Spider-Man film. Still, so you said this one's your favourite now, so I'd probably enjoy it a lot. So I do need to watch it at some point.
So it's definitely good. I mean, we've finally got tickets to go watch that fucking Boogeyman horror film. That finally actually give a decent timing.
You actually got a decent time.
Yeah, they're still only doing like 2 showings a day, and there's only one showing there's one basically day that they've got no showings at all, and there's one day they got 1 showing. But yeah, obviously people I don't know. Obviously, I was speaking to him like last week on about the fact that new horror film by Stephen King, The Boogeyman, which has got just above average reviews, but you know it looks alright. I'll give it a watch. I like watching new shit. I don't know about Tim, the fact that the cinema we go to literally has only been putting out 2 showings a day upon release. I'm guessing because of obviously Spider-Verse being out and a couple of other things still, like Little Mermaid, they're taking up all the slots. As I said, they're only literally doing 2 showings, and the first few days, the first showing is after 8 PM at night, which is no good for me because obviously, A, Hayden goes to sleep usually quite early because of work, and B, obviously,
loser.
we've got to worry about going to work / getting back from the cinema to then get to work.
Get to work.
So obviously, it's a case of I can never do them. And obviously, the only day when they started putting a reasonable showing was Monday this week, where it's like just after 6 o'clock, which was the most reasonable showing. And again, I was like, I can't really be asked to be going down to Warsaw at that time of night. It's bad enough going down there fucking in the daytime, let alone fucking in the evening. So yeah, and obviously the first proper good showing day really was Wednesday this week. So obviously for us today, really, and that was like 2:30. But it's just a case of I can't be asked to go today to fuck up my sleep pattern because I got fucking Transformers tomorrow, so that's gonna fuck my sleep pattern up. So it'd be like back to back. I don't mind say like how I've done it now because it's a day that I'm not at work, and then obviously the day I'm actually going to watch another film is when I'm at work. But I'll get back to that in a minute. But obviously the Wednesday and Thursday they're 2 earliest showings, like 2:30 and like 1:30, and I'm like they're decent showings. But again, can't really attend because of Transformers. I've already got that booked. I want to watch that more than this Boogerman film. Boogerman's just one that, obviously, with this cinema pass, it's just like, fuck it, I've got the pass, I'll go and watch it. But
It's there, might
I
as
want to
well.
watch Transformers over this because I like the trailers for that film, and I've watched all the Transformers movies, and I've seen 2, 5, Bumblebee. I've seen 3 of the movies in cinema. I didn't watch 1, 3, or 4. I saw 2, 5, and Bumblebee. So I want to watch this on the big screen. And
Where I watched Transformers 1 in cinema. Did I? When did it come out?
I watched it.
2007?
Yeah, 2007. I watched it. At my granddad's. I remember my cousin. Because we kept doing there. Hey, mommy. Oh. He's dead in real life, isn't he?
Which one?
The guy who fucking there's the car salesman. And the car salesman who sells in Bumblebee.
I know you're on about, yeah, but I can't think of his. I think so.
Yeah, he's dead in real life.
The bit that I always remember is the when they're in the house and the police raid the house and they're running out.
No, the guy at the start, the one who sells in Bumblebee.
Oh, I can't. If I've watched it again, I'm like, yeah, but
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, obviously, I think the earliest showing they're doing overall is like 12:30, like lunchtime. I think I want to say it's Friday, this Friday coming up. I think it is.
Oh,
I could
I
be
do
wrong. But yeah, so that's the earliest they're going. Again, I'm just like, I'm fucking my sleep pattern up by going to Transformers at fucking like 1:10 in the afternoon. I'm literally getting a couple of hours skipping and then going out. So I'm not fucking my sleep pattern up multiple days in a row, unless it's something I want to go watch. And I was just scrolling through because they put as far as like next like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like I was looking through, and there's like one day there's no showings at all. One day there's one showing at 9 o'clock at night, and again it's the case that these are getting really late. And then I noticed Monday 2:30 in the afternoon. I was like, I haven't got work till the Monday night. I'm not at work. I'm literally I can wake up at fucking like 9 o'clock in the morning, do whatever I need to do, then go out and watch it. And then the only day I need to fuck up my sleep pattern is for the Flash on Wednesday. So I was like, I'll take it. I'll fucking take a 2:30 in the afternoon on fucking Monday. I was like, fuck that. I'll have that. That's the only time I've been able to go and watch it. It's been out since last Friday, so it's almost 2 weeks before I've been able to go and get a showing to watch.
yeah, to go and actually see it.
It's ridiculous the fact they're only putting like 2 showings. I'm guessing it's because they don't think it's probably going to sell that much, especially with Little Mermaid and Spider-Verse both being out, and plus with the fact that they've also got to make room for Transformers that's coming out. They've got to make room for the Flash that's coming out. They've got to make room for Indiana Jones, which they've put the tickets on sale now for Indiana Jones. I've got my tickets booked. Fucking 2. I think it's like 2 o'clock or 2:30 on the 28th, which is payday, thankfully. So they put the tickets up for sale for that. Early showing they're doing for that is like 9:45 in the morning. Oh, that's early. I'm guessing they're expecting it to be a big fucking seller. Yes, they gotta make room for that. They then gotta make room for Mission Impossible. And then gotta make room for fucking Barbie and Oppenheimer. There's a lot this fucking year for some of blockbusters. I think we said it in another video before, like, a few weeks ago. It's just ridiculous. It's like every fucking other week. Literally, not next week. The week after is the only week I can have my feet up when we're at the cinema. Like literally, there's nothing out for the week between Flash and Indiana Jones. There's nothing out. It's the only week where there's no movies in cinema, like new movies. And I'm just like, thank God, I'd have to keep going. And then fucking July comes and there's fucking one every fucking week again.
I've got a question for you.
Go, sir.
If you didn't have your cinema pass, what movies would you go and which ones would you skip?
Oh, are we starting from the start, basically from now?
Yeah, so like,
So
let's say
ignore the last few months. Start from now, basically.
Yeah, like now from now on. Would you skip Barbie or would you go?
She would murder me if I skipped it, but I want to watch Oppenheimer secretly. Just saying. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. I need to watch that movie. Literally, the only Nolan movie since Dark Knight Rises that I've skipped was Tenet, but that was because of COVID. I saw fucking Dark Knight Rises. I saw Interstellar. Is that all Nolan's put out? He did Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, and then he did Tenet, didn't he? Oh, I'm just making sure. I was trying to double check that. I swear he only just film every other year. He's kind of like James Cameron, but not James Cameron, because James Cameron only just won every fucking like 10 years. Christopher Nolan. So he did director. So he direct. Okay, so yeah. So ever since Dark Knight Rises, I've literally watched all his movies in cinema apart from Tenet. So I did Dark Knight Rises, did it in 2012. I did Interstellar in 2014. I did Dunkirk in 2017. So
Mm.
the only one I haven't done since Dark Knight Rises was Tenet, but that was because of COVID. I would have probably gone to watch it if it wasn't for COVID. But yeah, I'm just like I kind of need to watch this one. Like I'm a big Nolan fan. Like he always makes these like, visually satisfying movies with like really decent like stories and like full of like really good actors. And it's like though Barbie looks really fun. Did you see the recent trailer drop through? It actually shows you a bit more of them going to the real world and basically trying
Uh,
to.
no, I literally I think the last trailer I saw was on released like a few months back.
They dropped one the other week where they're basically going to the real world, and Will Ferrell's basically the business owner for the company that's trying to basically get her back, and they basically get arrested and stuff like that because like people like keep eyeing her up, and she keeps like she ends up fucking. I think she ends up knocking someone out in the trailer, and like Ryan Gosling goes like to a hospital and is like, "Is the doctor here?" And this woman's like, "Yeah, I'm the doctor." He goes, "No, hon, come on, come with the doctor." But she's like, "No, I'm a doctor." And he's like, "No, I'm a doctor too." And she's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Here I am." And he starts walking away. He's like, "Go fetch me like this nurse." And he's like being really obviously sexist. But obviously that's because of where he's from. That's how it's built.
Mhm.
Obviously, the Barbies are more nurses than doctors. So obviously it's the case of that's what he's used to. But yeah, it looks fun. It just like a fun movie. But I think I'd rather go watch Oppenheimer just because it being a
Oh
Nolan
yeah,
movie. That and I look. If, if I wasn't going weekly and I just like out of the blue popped in for a Barbie, I feel like it'd look weird on my behalf. But yeah, so if I skip, so ooh, would I
and you
skip?
only go for
I
Margot
think
Robbie,
I'd see
so.
Transformers. I think I'd see that because I've seen the last couple. Yeah, same. Yeah, 100%. Um, so I definitely think I'd see Transformers.
Mm.
I feel like I still would go to watch The Flash. I feel like the 3 films that are coming out in the next like few weeks, I think I'd probably watch all. It cost me a fucking lot, but I think I'd go watch all.
Try and get them all in.
Next month, it'd literally just be the case of probably Mission Impossible and Oppenheimer. I'd probably skip most of the rest of the month. There's a few films coming out that I'm like, with the past, I'd probably go and watch like the new Insidious movie because it's the last one. And it's bringing back the original cast, so I'd probably watch that with the past, but without the past, I probably wouldn't be bothered.
Mhm.
There's that fucking that one that's basically like DreamWorks' attempt to basically take a piss at Little Mermaid. I'd probably go and
Oh,
watch that with the
you
past,
said
but
you
I
want.
wouldn't probably watch it normally. But yeah, I'd probably watch most of the films, the 3 films that are still to come out this month. I'd probably definitely watch them, and then next month it'd probably just be those two. August, I'd definitely go watch Blue Beetle because that looks really good. The Meg 2, I watched the first one, so I'd definitely have to watch that. And I possibly would do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I've done the last 2. So I'd probably do the 3 that month, but I'd skip all the rest. So I'd skip Gran Turismo, I'd skip The Haunted Mansion, I'd skip something else coming out that month, I can't remember. But I'd probably skip all the other ones. But with this pass, obviously, I can go and watch them all.
Yeah.
Thankfully, September there's fuck all already coming out. There's only 2 films I know to coming out. So there's 3. I think there's 3 films I know to coming out in September. Expendables 4, which Aaron stars Megan Fox. Of all the action
Meg.
stars to get, Megan Fox. They literally dropped the trailer for early, and she's fighting Jason Statham. And they did it in a really like sexual way, like sort of Mr. and Mrs. Smith style, like sexual fighting. Uh, it, it's it's got like 50 Cent in and like some other people as well. The biggest action stars of all. I love how that franchise started off as like the old school like 80s action stars, and now it's just the case of get fucking anyone.
Yeah. Anyone you can get.
But yeah, that's out. Equalizer 3's out, and the new fucking Murder on the Orient Express sequel, which is like The Haunting in Venice or something stupid like that. I think, to be fair, out of all them, I'd it between like fucking Expendables and fucking Equalizer 3, so the big action films. It'd be between them two if I go and watch one. But if they're both spread out across the month, then I'll just go one and then one the other time. But obviously the ones when it's like this match like bunched together, like unless it's something I've seen the trailer, I'm like, I need to see that.
Yeah, you will.
Then I would
skip
like
it.
I'd pay to watch it. But obviously, if it wasn't, if it was like it looks alright, but like for example, Shazam when that came out, I was like, it looks alright, but with everything happening with the DC being reset because of Flash, I wasn't that fussed to watch it straight off the bat. But when I had the cinema pass, it was the case of screw it.
Yeah, might as well.
There's a fucking random ass showing on a Tuesday. Oh, I can tell her mom it's £5 for her. So you know what I mean. That's the good thing about the pass. The pass is so worth it. If you're a big cinema fan and you obviously go constantly, and you don't have a cinema pass, get a cinema pass. For like, I think for my one, it's like $15.99 a month.
Didn't I tell you to get the cinema pass? Wasn't like, why don't you just get a pass?
Everyone
next thing you
for
know,
the
you had
past,
the pass.
everyone for the past like fucking how many years have always brought up, why didn't you get this? And I've always been the case of I just can't be asked to fucking deal with trying to like apply for it or anything. And then I was just sat there like multiple times being like, I might as well just fucking do this. Like I'm spending that much time in the cinema, and there's that many films come out recently that I was unable to watch because I was like, skip that, because I'm obviously paying for it. But it was a case of I could have watched them with this pass, and it's just a case of fuck it, I might as well pay for the pass. I say I pay $15.99 a month. I think I pay £5 towards Hayden, so she has to pay like £10. I think I pay $5.99 towards her, so she only pays £10. So realistically for me, it's cost me about £20 a month, which realistically is how much it's costing me for one cinema sitting with two people.
Yeah.
So think of that over the course of a month, as I said in the video before, it mounts up. All I literally have to worry about now is just getting there. So what, £3 each time for a day saver, bish bash bosh, covered. May get some food here and there, not every time, but again, by the end of the month, doing all this, if you compare it to doing all this without the pass, like that is a ridiculous amount of sum, and this is a decent, reasonable amount of money. So yeah, if you haven't got one, I 100% recommend getting one if you're a big cinema fan. Can't think of anything else. You think of anything else?
The only thing I've got left is obviously what I told you earlier about the gameplay reveal being on Thursday.
Oh, the fucking game
Mortal
fest.
Kombat. So that should be interesting.
Hopefully they drop the release date for fucking Spider-Man, because I know the people that are starring in the game are at the fest. So hopefully they'll
probably drop it.
It's a bit weird they're dropping it. I'm surprised they didn't drop it at the end of the last trailer, not just like if they do drop it now, it'd be a bit funny that they didn't drop it at the end of the gameplay reveal. Unless they're going to drop an actual proper trailer rather than gameplay. It might be the sense of them, they might be waiting for an actual trailer. Because obviously the last one that you looked through and when I was talking to you, it was more just gameplay. So maybe they're waiting for the actual cinematic trailer to drop the date at the end of it.
Did that trailer come out before the new Spider-Man film came out?
Yes, the gameplay.
Maybe that's what I was waiting for. Because now it's more hype behind it, because more people watch the film. People are like, oh, Miles Morales in this new Spider, so let's watch the trailer for that.
Maybe they held off to get the hype on it. I mean, technically speaking, the Spider-Man game, obviously the game version of Spider-Man is in the Spider-Verse. He's in the trailer, and he actually has a speaking part in the new movie. Like a very small, like a brief, like little joke sort of thing, like that's like there's like a couple of lines, but it's still like, oh, cool. Like if you played the game, you're like, oh yeah. Like, the amount of fucking references to that movie. Like, 100%, you could sit there for fucking days picking out all the fucking little references. I do love little films like that where it's like, it's technically like backgrounds, like it's not massive, it's just background Easter eggs, but you can spend so long picking through. Like Cabin in the Woods, the amount of fucking Easter eggs you can get from that, like references, like Left 4 Dead, Hellraiser, Evil Dead, the list does go on. Like you can get so many fucking references, like little Easter eggs from like background stuff in that like in one sequence. Like literally, the actual command center for Spider-Verse where all the Spider-Men are at, literally reminds me of the cube sequence in Cabin in the Woods where it zooms out and you see all these different cubes coming together with all different monsters in. It reminds me of that, but obviously more PG. But the funny the new Spider-Verse is like he's a PG, which is what's going to help give some more money. Whereas the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which obviously is the same sort of animation style, obviously the same sort of look at, like, okay, let's make that, but with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's a 12A. It's not a PG. It's like your Marvel rating, like your average live action Marvel film rating, which is, I'm guessing maybe it's because it's, I don't know. I don't actually know what.
No, but
Maybe it's a bit more violent because they're using
a bit more
weapons.
edgy. Yeah, probably that's probably mainly what it is because weapons,
But then again, the normal
swords and
Turtles is
stuff.
like use weapons, and that's not. I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't know.
I just
Maybe they're
thought
gonna go a bit more edgy with it.
when I saw when it popped up on obviously the cinema website, when I was like to you, I was like, oh, it's coming out on Monday. We can go watch that if you want. It says 12A. I was like, eh? This was a
Eh?
This was a PG. This
Uh,
is 12A.
12A?
Hopefully, it's obviously it's edgy. That's why, which would be pretty interesting. Hopefully, it has the sort of edgy tone of the live action ones. 'Cause I did like the edgy tone of that, but obviously, it's got the more kid friendly side of it because it's the animated side. Apparently, they might be carrying it on for a TV show afterwards, like a spin off set in the like same universe.
I do like the art style, man.
Apparently, I don't know like full details that I read it. Like they're gonna apparently carry on with like a TV adaptation set at some point around this universe, which is a good way to keep it going for them when they eventually drop a second what movie maybe. It keeps it going enough to get the hype ready for that movie.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see.
we shall see.
Can you think of anything else, or we're about covered?
Uh, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've seen or heard, but I don't think there is. Xbox Showcase is Sunday, which is like
It's
the
Sunday.
Starfield main event, and obviously the little whatever they got lined up is like rumored to be Fable, but I don't know how true that's going to be. But that's not the big rumor at the minute. That's the one that's because everything else has kind of been announced what's going to be there, but Fable's what everyone thinks is going to be like, a surprise appearance, which if it is, it'll be pretty good because I'm pretty sure it's developed by the same people who make Forza now. Is it Playground Games, whatever? So hopefully, if it is fucking there, it does actually look good because I love Fable. So, but Xbox needs something to pull them back, man.
I
Because
know, because
lately they've been on such a fucking downward spiral. Like the only good thing about Xbox at the minute is literally just Game Pass. Like without that, fucking it'd be
yeah,
useless.
it'd be useless because PlayStation's constantly throwing out exclusives here and there. It's just like, yeah, they might come out and flop, but at least they're putting exclusives out. Obviously, the fucking Xbox putting exclusive out every now and again, and they flop harder than the PlayStation ones that are recent times.
It's like obviously Starfield needs to just come out and fucking be so good, man.
Yeah, I think if it comes
Like
out and it is negatively responded, then that's just a waste of everyone's time.
it's like the only thing I've read from it the other day. I don't know if you ever watched the original gameplay they put out. They put
No,
like so much gameplay. It's like and people say, oh, it looks really like slow paced kind of thing. Doesn't look very like action. And I'm pretty sure they got some of the developers from like ID Studio, so like Doom, whatever, to come and work on some of the combat in it. So that might make it a bit fucking faster, hopefully. Obviously not as fast as I don't think it needs to be Doom fast,
nah.
but it needs to be a bit more sped up because it's just obviously like this guy walking around this like space camp thing shooting people. It's like, oh man, it needs a bit more behind it.
Oomph.
But no, hopefully it's good, man. Because obviously that was probably one of the main reasons I even bought my Xbox, and then it got delayed for fucking ages.
Talking about Xbox, I think that you'll find out in July if we accept the Activision thing.
Yeah, I keep hearing stuff about obviously the sun blew out of proportion. Was like the UK might not get Call of Duty ever again. I was like, what bollocks is that?
I saw a different article basically using the same sort of lingo of Call of Duty may get banned in the UK, and I was like, clear clickbait, but okay, I'll have a little read. And that's where I read it. Apparently, it's like July time now. We'll find out if it's like a good actual go ahead or not.
I mean, they can ban Call of Duty. It's fucking been dog shit. I keep buying them every fucking year. No fucking crap, and I need to stop buying it. I need to actually get it in my head that they're not going to be good because they're so bad, man. This last one was like it's decent at first, and they've just added so much crap into it, man.
The stories are
It's
usually the
dreadful.
okay part of it. Multiplayer usually starts off good, but usually when they add too much, that's when it starts going. Whip, 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 whip.
Um, no, I really hope it's good, and I hope there's not just Starfield that looks amazing. I hope some other stuff looks really good as well. Like I know the new Forza's being obviously shown there, more like not
Do
the
you
Horizon series, like track
do you
series.
reckon it's going to be like 120 odd gig again?
It wouldn't surprise me, but it's like I say, it's not the open world version. It's the
Oh, so
the
that's a good.
serious version, like the track
So
version.
that's that hope of that it might be a smaller game because 120 odd gig gets to the point of fuck this, I'm uninstalling this game. But it made itself. I mean, fucking like size of games these days. I said to you, fucking Watch Dogs Legion. When I first played that, I swear to God, it wasn't that. I swear to God, it was only like 40 gig, and
Yeah,
literally I've installed it. And it's like 100 fucking like 10 gig, and there's a whole zombie mode on it now. I'm just like, I don't remember being a zombie mode on there before. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Why is it so big? Like, Hayden literally just finished installing it this morning. And I was just like, we only brought
yeah.
it so we could play the co-op together. Because we're like, fuck, it's like, I think I've got like, for like £6, you got for like £7. And I was like, it's fucking dirt cheap. Fuck
Yeah,
it,
sheep,
we'll
man.
pick it up and play some multiplayer on it. And as I say, it took hours just to install. Like, it was just like so fucking ridiculous. Like, she's had to do
Oh,
it
yeah.
like day by day. She hasn't been able to do it like in a full sitting. So, cause obviously, she's doing other stuff, and obviously it just drains. You know yourself when you fucking
Yeah.
downloading games, it just drains everything internet wise. So she has to do it in like about 3 sittings. She did the first one for like 20%, then she got the next one to like 70%, and then she finished it this morning with the last fucking like 30%.
Did you see? Is it WD Black who made like the SSDs and stuff? I think it's
Yes, I
WD Black.
think.
The made one for the PlayStation 5. The work with Sony to make it. It's 4 TB, right? Guess how much it costs?
Ridiculous amount, I'm guessing.
It costs the same price as the PlayStation 5.
Oh, okay.
So it costs
I
like
was gonna
what,
expect.
500 quid.
I was gonna expect a lot more for some reason. I mean, like, my
It's so
mind.
stupid. Why
It's
would you
expensive,
pay?
but my mindset was going higher.
Oh, it's so stupid. Like, who needs 4 TB, man?
Me,
For one. For what for? You
everything,
probably could get like a 2 TB one. And you can actually just slot
everything.
it straight into your PlayStation.
Everything. I use too much space. So I had to. I uninstalled Death Stranding again just so I could reinstall Spider-Man to replay that first game.
Yeah, but what have you got in there at the minute?
It's the base one.
Yeah, exactly. So you could get in
I
one
haven't brought
terabyte
any.
SSD.
I haven't brought any external ones yet. But I mean, fucking the size of games these days are fucking ridiculous. I mean, I clicked on the God of War Ragnarok fucking page on fucking PlayStation, and that's over 100 gig just for that install.
Yeah.
I swear it said 160. I swear it said.
On PlayStation 4, it's like 110.
But it's fucking more than that on PS5. Fucking games these days are so fucking big. They're too big. Too big for my console, so I have to keep uninstalling shit.
I think the best thing about it is it's always Western developers make games that like have such a huge download size, and you got stuff like obviously Elden Ring, which wasn't like a massive download size, but the world's fucking huge. So like, what the hell? It's always like you got like the Eastern developers who can manage to like compress the files into like almost nothing, and it's still fine. And you got the Western developers like they can download 150. So
I know. I mean, look at
so
Red
the
Dead
fuck?
and GTA and stuff like that. They're just ridiculous
Oh
sized.
man.
Oh. Yeah, I could argue about this all day, the game sizes, but we're not gonna. I think that's enough. Yes. You can check out the podcast over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, etc., 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 etc. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, you can like and subscribe and check out us on our live streams each Sunday. Obviously, if there's not a live stream on a Sunday, I will let you know before the Sunday. Unless it's a last minute thing, then I'll just quickly post it at the last minute, be like, Connor's ill, he can't do it. It's usually Connor's fault.
I'm getting slightly better. So
We need to figure out what we're playing this week, actually.
Worms, man.
Worms. We're going to play Worms again.
Hell yeah, I love that game.
I'll try and fucking make up a fucking
There's some crazy rules.
Rule set, yeah. So obviously you can check us out on Sundays, and you can also check out our previous podcasts that we've been doing for the past like almost 2 years. Well, I mean, you took a year off, but still. Yeah. So, yeah. If you have, if you can think of anything for us to discuss, obviously put it in the comments below, and we'll try and discuss that next time, or the time after if we've got something planned already, which we don't usually. Oh, I dropped everything on my foot. We don't
Shit myself, man.
I knocked my fucking DVD case over, and it fucking knocked them all on my foot. It's what you get for going for the Supernatural box set again. But yeah, so obviously we'll get to that at some point. We'll get to, if you give us a suggestion, we'll look into talking about that, or at least like a small section of the video we'll talk about it if we already got a topic in place. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed, and this has been the Chapter K podcast. So we shall hopefully see you next time. That's a much better salute this time than last time. Good job. Bye.